A group of friends embarks on a camping trip by a secluded lake, excited to explore its eerie legends. But when one of them is lured by a haunting melody, they must confront a spirit with a dark past to save him before it's too late. Sarah stood at the foot of the old house, her heart racing with excitement and a hint of apprehension. The sun bathed the weathered facade in warm light, and she could already envision their new life within those walls. As she stepped inside, the creaky floors whispered stories of days gone by, and the dusty corners seemed to hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. Each room was filled with character, from the peeling wallpaper to the faint scent of aged wood. It was perfect, yet there was an undeniable weight in the air, a sense that this house held more than just memories of its former owners. As Sarah explored the dusty attic, her fingers brushed over old trunks and forgotten relics. A peculiar chill filled the air, making her shiver. In the far corner, she noticed a locked door, its surface scratched and weathered, as if it had been untouched for years. Curiosity bubbled within her, a nagging urge to know what secrets it concealed. Days passed, and the door consumed her thoughts. She imagined hidden treasures or dark memories waiting to be unveiled. Each night she dreamt of what lay behind it, her obsession growing stronger as she vowed to find a way to unlock its mysteries. After days of searching for the right key, Sarah finally found one hidden in an old desk drawer. Heart pounding, she approached the locked door, anticipation coursing through her veins. The key turned with a reluctant click, and the door creaked open, revealing a dusty room frozen in time. Inside, personal belongings were scattered. A faded photograph of a smiling family, toys covered in layers of dust, and a small broken clock. Each item whispered stories of a life once lived, and a shiver ran down her spine as she pieced together the tragic past that lingered in the air. As Sarah cautiously stepped into the room, a cold draft brushed past her, raising goosebumps on her arms. She examined the forgotten treasures, but soon, soft whispers began to fill the air. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but the voices grew clearer, speaking words she couldn't quite understand. Her heart raced as footsteps echoed from the shadows, and she spun around, feeling a presence behind her. The once silent room now buzzed with energy, and unease settled deep in her stomach. Every creak of the floorboards made her pulse quicken, compelling her to uncover the truth. In the dim light, Sarah's gaze fell upon a large, ornate clock perched on a dusty mantel. Its hands were frozen at 3 o'clock, a haunting stillness enveloping the room. She reached out to touch it, feeling the coolness of the metal under her fingertips. It felt as if time itself had stopped in this eerie space, preserving the secrets of the family that once thrived here. The whispers intensified, swirling around her like a chilling breeze. A sudden realization struck her. The clock was a symbol of the tragedy that had unfolded, and she was now entwined in its haunting narrative. As Sarah rummaged through the belongings, she stumbled upon an old, yellowed newspaper clipping tucked inside a worn book. The headline read, "Local family mysteriously vanishes." Her heart raced as she read about the tragic events that led to their disappearance, each word weaving a dark tapestry of despair. The whispers grew louder, echoing the family's final moments. It dawned on her that their fate was intertwined with her presence in the house. She felt a chilling connection, as if the spirits were reaching out, urging her to uncover the truth and perhaps bring them the peace they so desperately sought. Confronted by the spectral figures of the family, Sarah's heart pounded. They looked at her with longing, their whispers now pleading. She felt an overwhelming urge to help them find peace, yet the fear of the unknown lingered. Would she abandon her home or embrace the shadows for their sake? Michael settled into his desk at the emergency hotline, the familiar hum of the computer filling the quiet room. Night after night, he answered calls that ranged from mundane to bizarre. From lost pets to frantic parents, each voice brought its own urgency. He sipped cold coffee, half listening, his mind drifting between calls. He had grown accustomed to the strange requests and panic-laden voices, even finding a rhythm in the chaos. Yet, beneath the surface of his routine, a subtle tension brewed, as if something significant lingered in the air, waiting for the right moment to emerge. That night, the phone rang, breaking the monotonous stillness. Michael answered, his heart racing at the frantic voice on the other end. "Help! I'm Anna," she gasped, her breaths shallow and quick. "I'm trapped in my house. There's someone here." Panic laced her words as she described the dimly lit rooms and the echoing footsteps of the intruder. Michael's mind raced, adrenaline flooding his system. "Stay calm, Anna. Can you tell me where you are?" he urged, jotting down details. The urgency in her voice gripped him, igniting an unsettling feeling in the pit of his stomach that he couldn't ignore. As the call continued, Michael's confusion deepened. Anna described her surroundings: faded wallpaper, a narrow hallway, and a staircase that creaked underfoot. Each detail resonated within him, stirring memories he couldn't quite place. "I can hear him," Anna whispered, panic rising in her voice. "He's getting closer." Michael felt a chill crawl up his spine. He squinted at the notes he had taken, trying to visualize the layout of her home. It suddenly dawned on him. Those very features matched his childhood house, the one he had left behind years ago. "Anna, where exactly are you?" he asked, dread filling the air. Michael's heart raced as he listened to Anna's panicked breaths. Just then, a creaking sound echoed through his own house, making him freeze. He glanced over his shoulder, the shadows in the dimly lit room seeming to stretch and shift. The familiar noises, a door slowly creaking open, footsteps padding softly on the floor, sent a wave of paranoia crashing over him. Was he truly safe? "Anna, stay quiet," he instructed, trying to mask his own growing fear. Each sound became amplified, and he couldn't shake the feeling that the intruder was lurking much closer than he ever imagined. "Michael, I can see you!" Anna's voice trembled through the receiver, sending chills down his spine. "I know about your brother, the one who went missing." Her words struck him like a bolt of lightning, unraveling his composure. How could she possibly know that? He had never shared that dark chapter of his life with anyone. "What do you mean?" he stammered, trying to maintain control. Anna continued, describing his childhood home and the things he had buried deep within himself. Each detail made his heart pound harder, awakening a dreadful realization. This wasn't just a random call. It felt personal. Fueled by urgency, Michael grabbed his keys and bolted out the door. Anna's voice echoed in his mind, a haunting reflection of his fears and regrets. He needed to save her, not just for her sake, but to confront the demons of his past that he could no longer ignore. Michael stood in front of the familiar house, heart pounding. Inside, shadows danced, and the air was thick with dread. As he stepped in, he faced Anna, whose eyes mirrored his own struggles. Together, they confronted the dark presence lurking within, revealing the painful truths they both needed to face. Emily and her family stood in front of their new home, a charming yet weathered Victorian house nestled at the end of a quiet street. Its peeling paint and creaky porch added to its character, igniting Emily's imagination. As they unloaded boxes, she felt a strange thrill, mingled with unease. The house seemed to whisper secrets in the soft breeze. Each room had its own personality: dark wood floors, high ceilings, and old-fashioned wallpaper. Her parents were busy planning renovations, but Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching her from the shadows, eager to share its hidden stories. As the days passed, Emily began to notice peculiar scratching sounds echoing through the walls, especially at night. At first, her parents dismissed it as old plumbing or perhaps rodents making their home in the nooks and crannies. However, Emily's younger brother, Jake, claimed he heard a voice too, soft and distant, calling out in the dark. "It's just the house settling," their mom reassured them, but Emily couldn't shake her unease. The sounds grew more frequent, and each night the whispers seemed to beckon her, tugging at her curiosity and fear, urging her to uncover the source of the disturbance. That night, Emily tossed and turned, trapped in a vivid dream. She saw a little girl with pale skin and hollow eyes, lost and calling for help in the dimly lit corners of an old, forgotten house. Each time the girl reached out, Emily felt an inexplicable connection, as if their souls were intertwined. When she awoke, heart racing, the image lingered in her mind, compelling her to uncover the truth. Determined, Emily decided to dig deeper into the house's history. She spent the morning searching online, hoping to find clues about the missing child who haunted her dreams. Emily spent the day poring over old newspapers and online articles about the house. Her heart sank as she uncovered the tragic story of a young girl named Lily, who had vanished from the town decades ago. Reports described her as lively and curious, last seen playing near the very walls that now surrounded Emily's family. The more she read, the more connection she felt to Lily's spirit. The eerie scratching noises from the walls seemed to echo the girl's lost cries. Fueled by a mix of sadness and determination, Emily knew she had to learn more about Lily's fate. Determined to help Lily find peace, Emily set up a quiet space in the living room, lit a candle, and placed a few of Lily's favorite toys on a table. "If you're here, Lily, I want to help you," she whispered, her voice trembling. The scratching sounds intensified, and she felt a cold breeze brush against her cheek. Suddenly, a faint voice echoed through the room, calling her name. Emily's heart raced as she focused, hoping to connect. "What happened to you?" she asked softly, her eyes scanning the dimly lit corners. The air thickened with anticipation, waiting for Lily's reply. With a shuddering whisper, Lily's spirit revealed her tragic fate, recounting a story of betrayal and loss. "I need justice," she pleaded, her voice a haunting echo. Emily felt a wave of responsibility wash over her, torn between the desire to help and the fear of what revealing the truth might unleash. Emily gathered her courage, confronting the dark truth behind Lily's disappearance. In the shadows of the old house, she faced the reality of betrayal and loss, determined to expose the secrets that had kept the spirit trapped. This final showdown held the key to granting Lily the peace she desperately sought. The sun cast a warm glow over the backyard as laughter and chatter filled the air. It was a typical family reunion, complete with potluck dishes and cheerful banter. Suddenly, an unfamiliar figure appeared at the gate. Aunt Eliza, a distant relative, stepped forward, her presence captivating everyone. With wild hair and a vibrant dress, she shared strange stories about their family's history. Each tale was more peculiar than the last, leaving the relatives enchanted yet uneasy. As she spoke, a chill ran through the air, hinting at the unsettling mysteries she would soon unravel, drawing everyone into her web. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the lawn, Aunt Eliza's stories took a darker turn. She spoke of long-buried family secrets, disappearances, betrayals, and hidden fortunes. The laughter that had filled the air faded, replaced by a thick tension. Guests exchanged nervous glances, unsure if they should be entertained or alarmed. Eliza's eerie charm shifted, transforming into something unsettling. The more she revealed, the more it felt as if her tales were a curse, binding them to a past they had hoped to forget. An uncomfortable silence hung over the gathering, signaling a shift in the mood. The days following the reunion unfolded in a haze of confusion and dread. It began with whispers. Two cousins, Lily and Mark, didn't show up for breakfast, Their absence felt like a shadow creeping over the family. As hours turned into days, the unease grew. Aunt Eliza's unsettling tales echoed in the minds of the remaining family members, amplifying their fears. The phone calls went unanswered, and frantic searches yielded nothing but silence. With each disappearance, a knot of terror tightened in their chests. What had once been a joyful gathering now morphed into a nightmare, leaving whispers of fear in its wake. While rummaging through the attic for clues, Sarah stumbled upon an old, dusty photograph tucked away in a forgotten box. As she carefully wiped away the grime, her heart raced. The image revealed a family gathering from decades past, with Aunt Eliza in the center, an unsettling smile stretching across her face. Yet what caught Sarah's breath was the sight of their missing relatives, Lily and Mark, standing beside her, their faces eerily blank. Panic surged through the remaining family members as they huddled around the photograph. Paranoia settled in, and distrust bloomed like a weed, spreading its roots deep within. Determined to uncover the truth, the remaining family members huddled together, poring over old records and family archives. As they dug deeper into Eliza's past, chilling revelations emerged. They learned she had been estranged from the family for years, rumored to have dabbled in the occult. Whispers of a hidden fortune and curses tied to her lineage began to surface. Sarah discovered an article detailing a series of unexplained events surrounding Eliza's former homes, each one marked by disappearances and tragedy. As the pieces fell into place, dread washed over them. Could Eliza be the key to their family's terrifying fate? As the family pieced together the unsettling clues, they realized Eliza might be orchestrating the chaos to fulfill her twisted desires. Paranoia gripped them, leading to tense confrontations as accusations flew. Trust evaporated, and fear settled in as they faced the chilling possibility that Eliza was their greatest threat. In a desperate bid for survival, the family united against Eliza, confronting her in a dimly lit room filled with shadows. As they unveiled the truth behind her eerie presence, the air thickened with tension. Together they fought to break free from her sinister grasp, determined to reclaim their lives. Tommy and his friends pull up to the secluded lake, surrounded by towering pines and the faint scent of damp earth. Laughter fills the air as they unload their gear, eager to dive into the weekend's adventure. They've heard the chilling legends of the lake, a spirit that whispers at night, beckoning to those who dare to listen. As dusk begins to settle, casting a golden hue over the water, they gather around the campfire, sharing stories that spark both excitement and fear. Little do they know, the whispers are waiting for them, just beneath the surface, ready to reveal their secrets. As the campfire crackles, Tommy and his friends settle in, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. Mark begins with a chilling tale of a local fisherman who mysteriously vanished one moonlit night, last seen casting his line into the lake's depths. Sarah follows with a story about a girl who had heard the lake's whispers, lured away, never to be found. Each story builds tension, wrapping the group in a blanket of unease. Shadows flicker around them, and the sounds of the night grow louder, as if the forest itself is listening. The laughter fades, replaced by a shared sense of foreboding. Later that night, as his friends drift off to sleep, Tommy lies awake, staring at the starry sky. Suddenly, a haunting melody drifts through the stillness, weaving its way into his thoughts. It's ethereal and beautiful, yet filled with an unsettling pull that beckons him toward the lake. Ignoring his friends' warnings, he quietly slips out of the tent, drawn by the enchanting sound. The moonlight casts shimmering reflections on the water's surface, and as he approaches, the melody grows louder, echoing the tales they shared. A sense of wonder mixes with dread, igniting a fire of curiosity within him. As Tommy reaches the water's edge, the haunting melody swells, wrapping around him like a soft embrace. In the moonlight, he spots a silhouette of a woman standing just beyond the shoreline, her long hair flowing like dark water. She sways gently, her enchanting song pulling him closer with an irresistible force. Entranced, Tommy takes a cautious step forward, his heart racing. The surface of the lake ripples as if responding to her presence, and he can see her face, beautiful yet sorrowful. She beckons him with a delicate gesture, her eyes shimmering with an otherworldly light, urging him to come closer. The next morning, Tommy's friends wake to find him sitting by the lake, eyes wide and unblinking, his body eerily still. As they approach, they hear him softly reciting the lyrics of the haunting song, his voice distant and melodic. A chill runs through the group, sensing an overwhelming sense of dread. "Tommy, are you okay?" one friend calls out, shaking him gently. But he doesn't respond, lost in the trance of the mysterious melody. The air feels heavy, and the forest seems to hold its breath, as if waiting for something to unfold. Panic begins to set in among the friends. Tommy's friends frantically research the lake's dark history, uncovering tragic tales of those who disappeared, seduced by the same haunting melody. They learn of a legend about a woman who lured victims to their doom, realizing that Tommy may be the next target in a cycle of sorrow. In the depths of fear and temptation, we often discover the strength of friendship and the courage to confront our darkest nightmares. The tale of Tommy and his friends reminds us that curiosity can lead us to perilous paths, but with unwavering support and determination, we can break free from the grips of despair. How would you have reacted if faced with the eerie call of the unknown? Would you have ventured forth or turned back in fear? If you want to continue this chilling journey and uncover more unsettling tales, click the video on the screen now. Don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.